All right, next is the pinch pot. Now your pinching motion is going to be one of the motions you use the most. So with my pinch pot, I took my fresh wedged clay ball and I cut it in half. And I'm going to put one half to the side, and we'll use that later. But I'll take my other half and I'm going to hit it back into a ball. If you're making a clay pinch pot, you're going to want to start with a ball. So I'm just hitting it all over. I'm using one hand to kind of support it. And I'm just hitting it with a cupped hand to get that round ball. For this, you really only need your clay and your canvas still, and then your hands. So I've got this nice ball of clay. I'm ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my hands kind of in this motion here where I've got this heart. And I'm going to start pushing my thumbs in. I can use one thumb, I can use two thumbs. But I don't want to push too far. I want to leave about less than my thumb width in like wall thickness. So this is the start of my cup, but I want to leave about less than a thumb width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with one hand, and I'm going to start pinching with the other. Now I'm not pinching up here, I'm pinching down below first. So I want to get down below to be the right thickness first, and I can start to kind of feel where my fingers meet, where down below is starting to get thinner and closer to what I want. So if you want to, push it together a little, you can. But I'm just taking my hand like a pincher, putting it around the sides, and gently pinching it till I get the thickness I want. You're going to want to start feeling around and making sure that the thickness that you have, you're not getting too thin. I'd rather it be a little too thick than too thin. All right, now I want to keep, now my edges might not be the best here, but I want to keep from having my edges be too thin. If you have them kind of the thickness of the base of your pinky, that works well. So I'm going to just keep kind of forming it gently, feeling all my walls, making sure they're the right thickness. So your goal in this assignment is to have a pinch pot that has all the same thickness of walls. It doesn't have to be perfect, and the lip doesn't have to be all the same, but you want it to have all the same thickness of walls. And then one mistake I see a lot of people make is that they are focusing so much on the rim that they start to have this sort of pinched rim. This rim is not going to hold up in the kiln. It's a little too thin and it won't be functional. So if that happens to you, you can cut it off. And just keep working on the other sides. Just make sure, I almost never pinch the rim itself. I pinch slightly below the rim, and it pushes that clay up into the rim. And then I can kind of go in this pinching motion at the end and make it a little thinner, but I almost never ever go through and pinch it right away because I'm really working the clay from the bottom all the way up to the rim of my pinch pot. And that's my pinch pot. If I wanted to smooth it out, I could use my rib. Probably on the outside is where you'd use your rib more. So I can use this to start smoothing it out. I can use my fingers, right? I can start just kind of gently swiping in there. That works too. I can also use my sponge. But what happens with the sponge is that it does take off some of your clay. So this is clay that now you can't use because it's on your sponge. And that is the pinch pot.